Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can probably tell from my voice, I am poorly. I contracted a cold and so I don't feel like putting makeup on my face today. But what I do feel like doing is telling you a little bit more about me and a little bit of a story. So I thought I would do that. I'm just going to be doing my skincare while I tell you this story. Something triggered this thought process in me. And I was thinking about it for quite some time. And I thought to myself, how do I explain to people about this particular subject and how do I make people feel better about it? So basically, if you don't know already, I mean you can tell, I'm a natural redhead, and ever since I was little it's always been quite a big thing for me. Like, I've always been very fair. I've always had my red hair. I mean, and as I've got older, it has started to get a little bit darker, so it's like not as obvious. I do get a bit of help now because obviously I'm a bit older, it's got darker, and I use the Glaze Gloss conditioner just to brighten it a little bit. But what I wanted to talk about today was the fact that there's this thing at the moment, I've seen a lot of it on TikTok, where people are talking about this filter, and it's like the pale filter, and I just thought I wanted to come on here and just tell you a little story really about my experiences, and then hopefully you could maybe understand why I am how I am and why I think it's important to talk about these things. So after that really long intro, shall we get into the video? I'm just using the Bioderma micellar water because I really can't be bothered to hang my head over a sink and wash my face properly. But this stuff will be fine. It's just a morning cleanse. My glands are so swollen here. Got quite a lot off. That's gross. Should we do another one? So I'm going to start this story off with basically the background and the history of like me, basically. I know it sounds very like, you know, oh, look at me, but actually no, there's a reason behind this. So one of my first memories was being at nursery. I was probably 2 or 3 probably, and feeling different to everybody else and not quite understanding why. Now, my sisters, they were all a lot older than me, and they all were like blonde or brunette, and they would like get a tan in the sun, and I never really understood why my skin just was so fair. Like, I was so fair, like see-through. But from a very young age I noticed it, and it's quite sad really, because I mean, to obviously like start school and, you know, you feel vulnerable anyway. You're not with your family, you're not with your mum anymore, and you're thrust into this like environment where there's a lot of other kids, and I just constantly got bullied, like consistently, from being really small, like really little, a little tiny little girl, to like the age of like maybe 15, 16. And bearing in mind, I grew up in the 90s, like I'm a 1985 baby, and a lot of things weren't accepted then. Being a redhead, being so fair, having this kind of like inability to fit in. And also another problem that I had was that I was quite outspoken, I was quite loud, and also I was a little bit of an awkward kid. I mean, who isn't? But I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere. I was at school, I was being bullied constantly every single day. I mean, I remember a few times kids throwing things at me, like physical violence. Like, I'd go home to my mum and cry, and I'd be like, Mum, they've like thrown things at me, they've like called me names. And she was like, just stand up to them. Do you know what I mean? Clearly, I'm not going to be doing that at that age. And I was pretty tall as well. Like, I remember being about 5 or 6, and we had some school photos, and I was taller than everyone else. Like, literally everyone else, I was a lot taller than them. Oh, I'm just going to use this Powerful Strength Line Reducing Concentrate from Kiehl's. Obviously, I stood out clearly to the other kids, and they all collectively just decided that they wanted to pick on me. I did have friends at school. I mean, I don't speak to anyone from school now, but mainly at one point I had a friend, and we were really close, and she never picked on me for my hair, ever, or my skin colour. She never did. A lot of people at school, I mean, kids are nasty, aren't they? But they would all pick on me. funny. I remember distinctively another time where we were doing PE outside. I was literally getting laughed at because I was so pale. Like, I had shorts on because it was warm, and we were doing PE outside in the field. Also, I had horrific hay fever, so my eyes was like dripping wet, like, and I was just itching and I had like hives from the hay fever, and it wasn't a good look going with the Ren eye cream. We were outside and they were all just laughing at me and saying I was like Casper the Friendly Ghost, you know, the usual names, silly names. I remember going home from that day and just absolutely bawling my eyes out and thinking, like, what can I do? I think I was about 14. I was 14. And I was thinking to myself, like, what can I do to stop this just insatiable bullying, like, every day? Like, I was ostracised from all popular groups. Like, nobody wanted to know me, basically. Nobody wanted to be friends with me. Oh, that was the Laneige Berry Lip Glowy Balm. I remember just thinking, what can I do to stop this insatiable, like, horrendous bullying? My mum actually did some work for Avon, which was a thing in the 90s and early 2000s, where you would, you know, go around with the catalogue and sell products from the Avon book. This is the Fenty Skin Hydra Visor Invisible. And basically, in the Avon book was this, like, self-tanner. So I think I just nagged my mum. I must have just nagged her. And basically, I nagged her to the point where she bought me this self-tanner, and I went to town with this self-tanner, like, all over my legs, all over my arms. But for some reason, I'd like missed bits, so it wasn't a very good quality one. I mean, in them days, self-tanner was just not the best, and it did make me orange, and I looked horrific. But I thought anything's better than being so see-through. So yeah, I put this self-tanner on, and then the next PE session, it kind of like worn off a little bit. So it looked patchy and it looked horrendous. And I had a streak like all down my arm, like here, and then all down my leg. And I looked absolutely ridiculous. But I thought, you know what? Anything to stop them picking on me. The wild thing is, right, that particular PE session, I'd bought my PE kit into the changing rooms, and I opened it, I put my trainers on the floor, and a mouse ran out of one of my trainers. And I think my mum's cat had like brought in a present for us, basically. And this present, the mouse, had ended up in my trainers, and I'd then picked them up and took them to school. So even more fodder for them to pick on me, basically. So then I'd get like people like making squeaky noises behind me like a mouse. Just, it got worse, basically. And I would, like, everyone always says, oh, you should tell the teachers, but this was really affecting me to the point where I didn't want to go to school, and I didn't want anything to do with school. And at this point I was like studying for my GCSEs. I am not an academic anyway. I'm not good with it. I'm good at practical things. I'm not good with, you know, writing things down. I basically failed all my GCSEs apart from maybe English and art, because of this horrendous bullying that I was having. Basically, I then decided that I just could not wait to leave school. When I say to you, like, I was bullied, and like a lot of people are being bullied, but this was physical. This was like a physical bullying, like pushing me, pulling my hair, cutting bits of my hair out, just general like being picked on, but like physical. No one could do anything about it. Like, teachers didn't do anything about it. Nobody really supported me. And my family was just like, yeah, when I just took it upon myself to get out of school and leave as soon as I possibly could, which I did. I left school and I got a job in a hairdresser's, which is quite ironic. And basically, this hairdresser's was entering a competition for like all the different hairdressers in the area, and they wanted me to be a model. By this point, I'd been doing hairdressing for a while. I think I was about 17 at this point. I entered this competition with the place I was working at, and they were like, we're going to perm your hair and we're going to colour it. And I thought, wow, like, this is amazing. Like, I'm going to look completely different and they won't be able to pick on me. No one will be able to see that, you know, I've got red hair anymore. Like, they'll be like, you know, you've got brown hair. But instead of them kind of doing a good job, they did an absolutely horrific job. Like, my hair was so dry. It was so curly, like, I mean, like, unnaturally curly. It looked horrendous. I mean, I think, actually, it was my 18th birthday. My mum took a picture of me. I don't even think I've kept that picture because, honestly, I was horrified. And my mum, I remember I was looking in the mirror and I was getting ready. I had this lilac dress on and my mum was behind me in the mirror. And she looked at me and she went, you've ruined your crown and glory. Yeah, then I decided, do you know what, I'm just going to have to grow this out. And do you know what as well, I distinctly remember sitting on my bedroom floor at 2:30 in the morning, looking at myself in the mirror and crying like I was distraught what I'd done to myself. And yeah, it was just horrible. It was horrendous. So then I had to grow my hair out and start again, basically. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to have to cut all my hair off and grow it out. So I had like a bit of a bob cut. Yeah, I just grew it all out, basically. And then this was when everything that happened to me kind of came to a head, because I started going out, I started having boyfriends, I started having friends, started meeting new people that were actually interested in me and that were nice to me. And I'd never really experienced having friends properly before that, like, and I was actually feeling like, oh my God, these people actually like me and I'm actually quite popular. Like, socially, I was actually quite popular. And it was such an alien feeling from being bullied for my skin and my hair that, like, I just didn't understand. I was like, oh my God, people actually like me. Boys are asking me out. Like, oh my God, I'd never had a boyfriend properly that actually had asked me out. I was quite surprised at how much attention I was getting. And then this was when I decided, do you know what, I'm going to start doing the fake tan again, but I'm going to really research it, because there's one thing with me, if I want to do something, I'll do it properly, and I will research and find the best. So I was like, I'm going to find the best fake tanner and I'm going to do it really well. So I started off by getting a spray tan, and that was okay. Honestly though, like when I say I had red hair and then a spray tan and I looked ridiculous. I looked like, you could tell it was fake. Like it didn't look right at all. I looked almost like dirty. I'm just using the By Ellie brow gel. So yeah, I looked really like I needed a good wash, a good scrub all the time, basically. Like looking back on photos now, I look at myself and I think, oh my God. So this was when I decided, because I had a boyfriend at the time who said he preferred blonde hair. I mean, I was clearly not blonde, and he said he wanted someone who was like blonde, tanned, you know, like a Barbie, stupid. And obviously I was like, I need someone to like absolutely adore anything. I just wanted someone to love me, basically, because throughout my whole life, all I'd had was people telling me that I was fat, ugly, ginger, all these words. So I went out with this guy. He basically said that he preferred blondes and he preferred, you know, tanned blondes, which made me quite paranoid. And everywhere I went, nights out, everywhere I went, there was tanned blondes, and then there was me, literally see-through. I started doing fake tan again, and I used to get like spray tans. I'd spend my money on it, and you know, I was in the beauty space at this point doing hair, and you know, I had some good friends, but I don't feel like they were my forever friends. I mean, looking back, I was like they were, but obviously not. Yeah, so then I just decided one day I'm going to bleach my hair. So I went to my hairdresser, who, funnily enough, is still my hairdresser. So she's known me since I started with hairdressing. She bleached my hair for me. So it started off with just some highlights, and it went mad. And then it went even worse, and then it went even worse. Yeah, they just kind of upkept this blonde hair. I'll insert a picture somewhere. You'll see it was pretty platinum, and it was quite expensive to upkeep this lifestyle of, you know, being blonde and having fake tan all the time. Bearing in mind, I had to fake tan probably every 3 days to keep the facade up. I remember just thinking, like, I'd get so nervous, like, if I had to go on a night out and I hadn't fake tanned, and the night before I had to literally, like, scrub my whole body, fake tan, you know, sleep in, like, old pyjamas so I didn't stain the bed sheets, get my hair done, makeup, everything had to be absolutely perfect for me to go anywhere, really. I remember one night going out and I'd done all this, and my boyfriend's friend said to me, Tina, you look like you're going to the Oscars or something. And I took that as a compliment. I think he meant I'd overdressed and I'd overdone it, but bless him, he was trying to be nice in a funny way. In his own way. So yeah, I just literally would go all out for a night out. And then my relationship broke down with that boyfriend. I just split up with him. And then I met my now husband, and we've been together ever since. But bearing in mind, my now husband absolutely loves the bones of me, as I am. Hair, skin, he hates fake tan. He thinks it looks awful. And I started like not fake tanning And he would compliment me more and I'd be like, oh. So I outright asked him and I said, like, what do you think about the fake tan and everything? And he said, I don't like it. And from that minute, I thought to myself, this man, like, bless him, absolutely loves the bones off me as I am. He's a keeper. I'm going to marry him. And I was like literally obsessed with him ever since. And I just think this story I want to tell you because I think people need to be aware of what they say in general. Just online at the minute, it's not nice. And I think girls who aren't as strong-willed as me would probably take that as like a true negative and would probably do something irreparable to themselves. I mean, I've heard of people taking injections to tan more. That's been in the news before. I've heard of people, like the pale filter thing on TikTok is horrendous. Like, oh, I need to tan, look how pale I am. Girls on TikTok constantly putting like tanning drops on their chest and like, I'm going to go out and I'm putting tanning drops on. I just think, like, you don't need to do any of that. Your skin's beautiful as it is. Everyone's skin is beautiful as it is. You don't need to tan to be beautiful. And, you know, I just think there's also this whole idea that in certain cultures you need to be fair to be classed as like beautiful. In their beauty standards you have to be fair. And then in certain cultures, like definitely Western cultures, it's like you have to be tanned to be beautiful. And just the whole thing, it doesn't mean anything. Like none of this means anything. All it does is just creates this like fake beauty standard that just makes people like me have horrendous times and basically get bullied for looking the way you look and being born how you're born. Like I can't help the fact that I've got red hair. I can't help the colour of my skin. I was just born this way. I can't help the way I don't tan at all. So I just wanted to talk about it. I do have friends that are quite fair and they fake tan and they say like, I'm not going to name anyone, but they say like, they wish they had my confidence when I walk around like with my normal skin colour. And I think that's so upsetting. And I'd love to be able to help them. I mean, I don't really know what helped me apart from having a partner that appreciates me as I am. For me personally, that's what helped me. Having somebody there who was like, you're beautiful as you are. You don't need to do anything. You are stunning. I just wanted to make this video and just, you know, let people know why I'm so into using sun cream. Like, it's part of my personality. I love using my SPF 50 every single day. I love my skincare. And I just think as long as you are looking after yourself, eating properly, drinking enough water, looking after your skin, making sure that you're protected from the sun, I think that that is a healthy attitude towards, you know, self-love and just being who you are and allowing yourself the space to be who you are and be as you are. And I just think that's the message I wanted to give. I think this has got a lot to do with the reason why I don't like people, like in general. But some people are nice and some people are supportive and helpful. So, you know, there's that. And I just want people to know that you can be yourself and you don't need to go through all these measures to like conform. You can just have, you know, your natural skin and be yourself, and you know, the right people will accept you as you are. That's what I'm trying to say. People who pick on you and don't accept you as you are, well, they're not worth it, are they? They're not obviously your people. In conclusion to this video, I just wanted to talk about that really, and I'm so proud of myself for not crying. So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Like, subscribe, leave me a little comment and your thoughts on this. I just want to say as well, I don't want this to offend anybody. I'm not here to like offend people. I'm just trying to explain to you my thoughts and feelings on my experiences. I also want to add in there that the other day I was at work and one of my colleagues said, she was like, oh, is that your natural hair colour? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. I'm going to just get my hair down actually, because you couldn't really see it. She was like, oh my God, that colour is so beautiful. I said, oh, thank you. And I thought to myself, if I could say that to this little girl, that in like, 35 years time, someone's going to tell you your hair is beautiful and mean it, then I think she'd be happy with that compliment. I am fully accepting the ginger now. Like, with time, age has really helped me accept what I look like. Also, like, people are colouring their hair to look like my hair. It's like trendy to have red hair now. It's mad, isn't it, really? But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.